Focus Plumbing, always at your fingertips.
Pow! Segment 2 on the Danny Vegas Live show. Now, hey, I want to thank everybody for hanging in there today because today is kind of an experimental day. We're here working some technology. So I don't have a co-host today, so the show is not following the regular format. But so far, so good. So we're really excited about that. So anyway, like I said in segment 1, we talked about what you would want in a business coach. I know a lot of people have egos and they don't think they need a business coach. I was certainly that way for a very long time. But I think everybody needs a business coach because I think we're being coached by our friends and we're asking for opinions all the time anyway. So anyway, that was segment 1. Hope you liked it. Great. Now, for all you folks that have not watched the Danny Vegas Live show, I do come on live every Thursday at 11 o'clock. And we have, like I said, we have our co-hosts, we have guests, and we talk about business, we talk about a lot of stuff. But sometimes we actually talk about other things. Like, I have a curious question for today. And I've been kind of seeing this on social media. And feel free, Ray or Rod, if you're sitting there watching, Arthur, Eugene, where are the ladies? Where are the ladies? Anyway, I got a question for you. As a business person, your brand is very important to you. You certainly, it's like a baby. You certainly take care of it. You certainly watch it. You certainly have a plan for it. My question is this, and feel free to chime in. Would you take a selfie? Say you're in a bar or happy hour. Would you take a selfie, Joe Gamble, with O.J. Simpson? Now, what's kind of interesting to me, because I'm on my Facebook and I'm strolling down the stream and I'm seeing people, because O.J. lives here in town. He lives here in Las Vegas. Would you take a selfie with O.J. Simpson? Now, what's interesting to me is a lot of ladies take selfies. They take pictures with O.J. Now, let's get down to the brass tacks here. O.J. was acquitted of a very serious crime back in the 90s that is very controversial to this day. He was charged and not found guilty of literally murdering 2 people in a very violent way. And according to the prosecutors, that was not successful. It was out of rage and jealousy. Because according to what we have learned, he supposedly was a fairly controlling individual in the relationship with his wife, Nicole Brown. So he was found acquitted of that. He was acquitted of that, not guilty. And according, if we believe in the system, we wash our hands and say, okay, all right, we believe in this system, and the system said this, so we move on. Now, fast forward to the 2000s, O.J. got into a little trouble. Most people that were outside looking in said that, hey, the big deal with O.J. on that case was it was kind of like some thugs robbing some thugs. In other words, bad guys robbing bad guys, and then it was my stuff, and it wasn't their stuff, and someone had a gun, and in a lot of legal experts' minds, they tended to think that it was a little bit over-prosecuted. In other words, if it would have been anybody else, it would have been Danny Vegas up there in that room saying, hey, give me my Danny Vegas t-shirt back. Okay? Give me my t-shirt, give me my Danny Vegas poster back. And one of the guys had a gun. I wouldn't have got the same treatment as O.J. I probably, thugs on thugs, maybe would have got much of a lesser sentence and probably been out in less than 18 months. Oh, someone's trying to call me. Sorry about that. So anyway, so the question is, with that history, especially of the first case, do you take a picture with O.J. Simpson? The question is up to you guys. Do you do that? Do you take a picture with O.J.? I find it kind of interesting that a lot of ladies are taking pictures with OJ. It's kind of interesting that they would do that. So anyway, so that's a question for today. As someone who has a brand, has a business, knowing the deep divide of his innocence and his guilt and all that stuff, would you take a picture with O.J. Simpson? I'm seeing everybody chiming in here. Great. So that is the question of that day. So, okay, what else do you want to talk about? I was kind of hoping we'd get some interesting thoughts and insights about that, but I guess at this point we have not. So, okay, so what else do we want to talk about today? Now, we know we can go back to a business topic. Yes, okay. All right, thank you. I'll go back to a business topic. And no, you would not take a picture with O.J. Simpson. I have to admit, I would be a little reluctant, which in some cases may be argued that it's not fair. I mean, he was acquitted of the first charge. He paid his dues to society on the second one. So if we believe in our system and say, hey, you paid your time, you were acquitted, no harm, no foul. Let's take a picture. So anyway, you think about that as far as I'm concerned. Okay, let me see. What else we got going on? Today, Las Vegas, beautiful day. We do have some interesting, Arthur, you say no pick with the juice, but it could go both ways. Yeah, I kind of agree with you, Arthur. I mean, I kind of would feel kind of weird about it, but where I could see where people, celebrity is a celebrity, and will be a celebrity until they plant him in the ground. So thank you, Arthur, for your input on that. So, Rodney, if you're still there, would you take a picture with the juice? Now, Rodney Bethke, he's joined our show. Has been Danny Vegas supporter for many years. So, very cool. So, anyway, let's get back to somewhat of a business topic. If you want to go ahead and chime in on that, you can, about would you take a selfie with OJ? Would you? I don't know. Very interesting. Maybe you would, maybe you wouldn't. Okay. Another thing that we want to talk now, remember in segment 1 we talked about the business coaches. The next thing I wanted to yak about is and because I know a lot of small businesses, maybe I know too many, because small businesses, how do I say it? Many of them never turn a corner. Now, we only got a couple minutes, so I probably stretch this out into segment 3. We only have small businesses, a lot of them, and I've seen it over the years, and year after year after year, they never tend to turn a corner. They always tend to just kind of be in the same place. And I'm kind of guilty. I mean, there has been years where Danny Vegas has just, as a platform now, has just kind of puttered along, just kind of existed. It never really had a mission for that year, never really had any goals. It was just puttering along. The question that I have is to those small businesses, and I would ask them straight up, I mean, what is the end game here? What is the thought process of what you're going to do? I've said it for many, many years that business is kind of a simple concept. You just want to bring in more money than is going out, right? Kind of it in a nutshell. No different from a lemonade stand to UPS. It's all the same. Basically, we want to cover our costs and we want to walk home with a nickel in our pocket. But where the science comes in is how to put it all together to make that work. And it's amazing how some people are so good at it and some people are so bad at it. You know, are you born that way or are you made? That's another good question. Are entrepreneurs born or made? Anyway, segment 3, $750,000 into the show. We'll be right back.